I discovered my girlfriend was unfaithful with our neighbor, so I decided to make her believe our home was cursed. She lost her mind. I'm a 28-year-old guy, and I was in a relationship with the most superstitious woman alive. My ex, Lily, was so paranoid that if you coughed at 2 a.m., she'd swear a spirit was trying to haunt you. She wasn't just casually into the supernatural, she was obsessed. She kept a vial of blessed water in her purse, tossed salt behind her like she was spicing the carpet, and once banned me from the bedroom for humming after dark. Apparently, that's how you summon ghosts to crash your movie night. If I had a headache, she'd rather perform a ritual than hand me a painkiller. Don't get me wrong, she wasn't clueless, just fiercely dedicated to her fears. It was amusing until it stopped being funny. One day, I found out Lily was cheating on me with our neighbor, the guy next door. Seriously. Of all the people, she chose Nathan, a guy as exciting as unsalted crackers. He worked remotely, owned a bizarre collection of porcelain turtles, and once asked if pasta was vegan. I found out when she left her phone unlocked while taking a shower. One message from Nathan, and my heart sank. I was furious at first, but then inspiration struck. She was terrified of ghosts. Why not make her dread the very house she betrayed me in? I called my best friend, Jake. Jake's the kind of guy who once convinced his cousins their house was tilting by subtly shifting their furniture daily. He thrives on mischief. When I shared my plan, he didn't question it. He just said, "Dude, we need fog machines and a speaker." And so the plot began. Jake showed up at my place, practically buzzing with excitement. This wasn't just a favor, it was his masterpiece. "Man," he said, slinging an arm around me, "we're turning your place into a horror flick set." Step 1, set the stage for the haunting. We needed Lily to feel like something was watching her. We started subtle, just enough to spook her without driving her out immediately. That night, while Lily was in the shower, Jake and I positioned ourselves in different corners of the apartment with wireless speakers. As the water ran, we played faint, eerie murmurs, barely audible but chilling. "Lily, you must leave. Nathan will deceive you too." She burst out of the bathroom, wrapped in a towel, eyes wide with panic. "Did you hear that?" she gasped. I glanced up from my phone, playing dumb. "Hear what?" Her gaze scanned the room. "I swear I heard voices." Jake, crouched in the hallway, texted me. Time to mess with her head. I sighed, rubbing my forehead. "Babe, you've got to stop binging those paranormal shows. You're freaking yourself out." She paused, nodded reluctantly, and went to bed. Jake and I exchanged a silent high five from across the house. The next night, we escalated. Jake rigged a thin string to the bedside lamp, running it through the closet door left slightly ajar. At 2 a.m., he tugged it gently. The lamp crashed to the floor with a loud bang. Lily shot up, gripping the covers. "What was that?" I mumbled, pretending to be half asleep. "Huh, what's up?" She pointed at the lamp. "It fell on its own." I squinted at it. "Maybe Nathan was trying to climb through the window," I teased. She didn't laugh. Then came the knocking, 3 slow, heavy thuds from inside the closet. Lily screamed. I acted startled. "What the hell?" Jake, still hidden, knocked again, then whispered in a creepy tone, Lily, you don't belong here." She leaped out of bed so fast she nearly dragged the blankets with her. "No way," she yelled, sprinting to the living room. I followed, pretending to be clueless. "Relax, you probably just had a nightmare," I said calmly. Jake texted from the closet, "This is better than a movie." The next morning, we set up the next phase. I tied thin strings to random objects, Lily's perfume, the pepper shaker, a few novels. When she was alone in the kitchen, we started the chaos. The pepper shaker tipped over. Then her perfume bottle slid an inch. "No, no, no." Lily dropped her mug and bolted to the bedroom. I walked in, rubbing my eyes like I'd just woken up. "What's wrong now?" She pointed at the kitchen, gasping. "Things are moving by themselves." I sighed heavily. "Babe, maybe you're just stressed. Work's been rough, right?" She shook her head. "I'm not imagining this. Something's off." Jake texted, "Phase 3, let's go." That night, while Lily was in the bathroom washing her face, Jake and I got to work. I breathed on the bedroom mirror to fog it up and quickly scrawled in big, shaky letters, "Lily, get out now." When she walked in, she saw it and dropped her towel. Her face went pale. "Oh my God," I turned, acting casual. "What's wrong?" "Holy," I gasped, faking shock. She was trembling. "It knows my name." Jake, lurking in the hallway, texted, "She's one scare away from bolting." The next day, we went all out. While Lily was in the living room, Jake, dressed in a white sheet with dark makeup smudged around his eyes, slithered into the kitchen on all fours, looking like a creature from a nightmare. In a guttural voice, he hissed her name. Lily turned, saw him, and let out a scream that could have shattered glass. Jake, fully committed, hissed back. She screamed louder. He matched her volume, then he leaped onto the couch, crouching like a goblin, eyes wild, and growled deeply. Lily tripped over her own feet, grabbed a cushion, and hurled it at him like it was a sacred weapon. Jake caught it, sniffed it dramatically, and hissed again. She ran out of the apartment, barefoot, in the middle of the day, screaming like a banshee. I had to bite my lip to keep from laughing as I chased after her. "Babe, wait, we need an exorcist." She grabbed my arm, frantic. "Yes, a priest now," Jake texted, "Enter Father Jacob." Jake had slipped out, claiming he needed to gather spiritual supplies. In reality, he darted around the block, changed into a priest costume in an alley like a secret agent, and knocked on the door as a new character. Lily was pacing, clutching a cheap cross she'd probably bought from a corner store. Her eyes darted around like a hunted animal. I sat beside her, struggling to keep a straight face as Jake transformed. He'd swapped into a black outfit, draped one of my dad's old ties like a priest stole, and carried a tattered notebook that was actually an old diner menu. He strode in like he'd seen the devil himself. "This is worse than I expected," he declared, voice heavy with theatrics. "A malevolent force lingers here," Lily gasped. "You feel it?" Jake turned slowly, narrowing his eyes. "The spirits whisper to me, Lily. They are angry." I bit my cheek to stop a laugh. She gripped my arm. "What do we do?" Jake opened his holy notebook. "We must perform a cleansing ritual." Lily nodded desperately. "Yes, do it. Whatever it takes." Jake took a deep breath. "But know this, spirits don't haunt homes, they haunt souls." He turned to me, his face stern. "This apartment isn't the source." Lily blinked, confused. "What does that mean?" Jake's voice dropped to a whisper. "They're bound to you." Her face went white. Jake sighed dramatically. "Spirits cling to those weighed down by shame." Her hands started trembling. "Shame?" Jake closed the notebook. "Is there something you're hiding, Lily?" The seed was planted. Her eyes flicked between me and Jake, her breathing uneven. "What are you talking about?" Jake stayed silent, staring. She swallowed hard. Jake turned to me. "Hold her hands." "She must stay still for the ritual." Lily's eyes widened. "Why?" Jake ignored her, raising his arms. "Dark spirits, I command you." He pulled a small bottle from his pocket and sprinkled water on her forehead. "Begone, evil," Lily yelped. "What's that?" Jake's voice boomed. "Sacred water." I coughed to hide a chuckle. It was sink water. Jake slammed the notebook shut. "We must burn herbs to purify the air." I grabbed some incense, lit it, and waved it around like a madman. "Leave her foul spirit," Jake shouted, tossing a handful of salt. Lily flinched. "What's that?" "Cleansing salt." Jake yelled. It was kitchen salt. Lily was shaking. "Is it working?" Jake closed his eyes, exhaling heavily. "The spirit fights back. We need a greater power." Lily clutched my arm. "What does that mean?" Jake looked her in the eye and whispered, "Nathan." Her face froze. "Babe," I said, faking confusion. "Why would the spirit want Nathan?" She gave a nervous laugh. "No clue, that's weird." Jake stepped closer, his gaze piercing. "Call him, Lily, summon Nathan, or the spirit will never leave." Her breathing quickened. "But why would?" Jake cut her off, his voice low. "Summon him." She hesitated, then shakily grabbed her phone. I nearly broke character. This was the moment. She dialed. "Nate, can you come over?" Her voice was faint. I leaned back, watching her panic. "Babe, why are you calling Nathan?" I asked. She didn't answer. Jake crossed his arms. "The spirits reveal the truth." She looked like she might faint. Jake turned to me. "The darkness here is too strong. We must cleanse it completely." He snapped his fingers. "Pack her things. The spirits demand it." Lily's head jerked up. "What?" Jake nodded gravely. "We must remove the energy tied to her possessions." I grabbed her suitcase from the closet. Jake handed her a bag. "Pack, child, hurry." Dazed, she started stuffing clothes inside. Nathan arrived soon after. I flung the door open. Nathan stepped in. "Lily." "What's—" Jake cut him off, pulling a bag of flour from his pocket and throwing it in Nathan's face. Nathan screamed. Lily screamed. Jake pointed dramatically. "Begone, vile spirit!" Lily, already unhinged, shrieked. "Oh my God, Nate's possessed!" Jake doubled down. "The spirit shows its true face." Nathan coughed, confused. "What the hell's going on?" I crossed my arms. "Yeah, Nate." "What's going on?" Lily froze, her eyes darting between us. She was starting to piece it together. Nathan, still coughing flour, muttered, "What's happening?" I turned to Lily. "Yeah, Lily." "What's happening?" She opened her mouth, then closed it, speechless. Jake smirked. "The ritual has exposed the truth." Nathan, wiping flour from his face, said, "I think I should leave." Jake shouted, "Evil cannot escape," and threw another handful of flour. Nathan yelped, "What the hell, dude?" Jake turned to me. "The demon is banished." I nodded. "Time to clean house." Lily gasped. Wait, I cut her off, grabbed her packed bags, and tossed them outside. She shrieked. No, babe, I looked her in the eye. The power of trust compels you. Then I slammed the door in her face. Silence. Jake and I stood there for a moment. He clapped my shoulder. That was epic, I exhaled. Yeah, it was. And then we burst out laughing.